full-time? Full-time. You're listening to Full-Time Daughter. It's a full-time job at this point.
Welcome back to another episode of Full-Time Daughter with
Isa
and Cailyn.
Another week.
Another episode. If we're being really honest here, we fully filmed this intro 2 hours after we filmed.
Okay, but to be fair,
so we're like, you're in the present,
future.
but you're listening to us from the future.
Damn, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
But to be fair, this is such a good episode, and we talked so much, and it was just, it's too good. That's why we forgot. We
lost track.
We lost
got
track.
So into it.
We got so into the conversation. So enjoy today's episode because we're talking about couples.
There's so much to say about couples, and I know that we talk about like not being in people's business all the time. We're like, nah, it's kind of giving a little bit of parasocial, giving why do we care so much about other people's lives?
It's,
when it doesn't
mind your own
us.
business.
Mind your own business.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, we know we're all nosy. We all know that we're in somebody's business, whether we want to be or not.
And to be fair, they make their business public. And so if it's out there in the public, I'm going to consume it. So,
and then we have a right to speak on it.
Exactly. So let's talk about couples.
I don't follow Justin Bieber on any social media lately. Like, I was a Justin Bieber fan back when I was like 10 years old. Then this whole, like, once he got into that stage of like pissing on fans off of balconies. That's such a crazy ass statement to say. Yeah, you know that phase where he was like pissing off balconies on fans? Mm-hmm. During that time, I was like, oh, it's getting hard to defend. Like, I don't really have a connection with this man anymore.
Yeah.
So I just wasn't as much of a fan during that point. And since then, I've just been like, all right. So whenever I hear about him and Hailey, I'm like, oh my God, this tired ass subject. Like, there's always something.
It's always something with them. Like, they're walking somewhere and Justin's like 20 feet behind. Hailey's like, come on.
Or like Hailey driving a golf cart and him in the back, like driving him places. And I'm like, you know what, girl? PTSD. Like, I see where you're coming from. Maybe she's stuck in this phase too. Like, get her out. Free her.
Who knows what's happening?
There's always something with them.
Yes.
And then I always see screenshots of like random ass like Instagram stories that he's posting, and it'll be like a really niche part of a song that's like, my bitch so bad she can't even go outside, and then he'll post it and then tag her, and then it's like, what? It reminds me so much of like middle school or something, because like, what are we doing? He'll just post such a particular part of a song, or if he has beef with someone, it's like very subliminal messaging where he's like,
oh, like when
I
he
don't
had
fuck
like
with you, and then he's like tagging
the Bunny Blanco when Bunny and Selena announced their engagement, and he like went crazy on Insta.
It comes to a point, Justin, where I'm like, oh, someone revoke access to his phone.
Yeah, like, take that man's Instagram away.
The posting of the lyrics and random ass captions is crazy. Mm-hmm. And I was scrolling on TikTok and I come across this post of someone being like, or someone kind of dissecting this post that Justin had posted, and everyone in the comments was like, oh my God, no, I know it was so bad. Like, why would he even post that? And then he changed the caption as if we wouldn't realize. And I was like, wait, what happened? Now I'm involved in this. You guys involved me in this. Like, now I need to know what he posted. I search up his Instagram. It's like a Vogue cover shoot photo of Hailey Bieber looking stunning. The caption's just like a bunch of random emojis. And I was like, oh, is this what people are talking about? I was like, oh, it's not even that bad. I'm scrolling the comments and someone was like, oh, he changed the caption. This is like, everyone's like, it's getting hard to defend you. Like, why would you air out y'all's business like this? And I see the caption because someone fully copied and pasted the entire thing, and I'm going to read it because I just thought this was diabolical. Like,
read it.
I was like, who took his phone and did this?
Mind you, they're literally married with a kid. And this is what he's posting.
This is the caption. Yo, this reminds me when Hailey and I got into a huge fight. I told Hales that she would never be on the cover of Vogue. Yikes. I know. So mean. For some reason, because I felt so disrespected. Thought I gotta get even. I think as we mature, we realize that we're not helping anything by getting even. We're honestly just prolonging what we really want, which is intimacy and connection. So baby, you already know, but forgive me for saying you wouldn't get a Vogue cover. because clearly I was sadly mistaken.
Sadly
mistaken.
Now let's dissect. First and foremost, him opening it up with that he never
This
thought.
reminds me. Yo, this reminds me of
This
the time.
reminds me of that fight that we had. First and foremost, why are you airing that out?
It's just so random to me because I'm like, nobody needed to know this. Like, nobody needed to know you fought about. And I want to know why the first thing that came to his mind in an argument was, you're never going to be on the cover of Vogue. Like,
because I guess that's something that's like a goal for her, like as a model. It's a core wound for her, you know. If I tell her that she's never gonna make it.
Oh my God, may this love never find me.
No, that's crazy. That's actually crazy. That's like saying like, I hope you never write music again, Justin.
All he needed to do was post it. Like, if he wanted to congratulate her,
just tag her.
Put a little heart emoji.
Congrats.
With her tag. That's it.
So proud.
The
Why?
random oversharing of like something
Yikes,
that could have been
so
taken
mean.
to therapy. Like,
Yeah.
I know that they'd be going probably to couples therapy.
No, I know Hailey saw that and was like, take that down right now. Right now. Take that down right now.
No, because let's be real. Like, if your man posted that, how would you react?
I would laugh at him first because I'm like, what are you doing? And then I would be like, why are you airing out our laundry?
No, it
our
really
dirty
gets
laundry,
me. It
bro.
really gets me.
No,
But-
I just no. That's like unhinged a little bit.
Yeah.
I think it's okay. Like I've seen couples go on podcasts before and they talk about like, I
Some
got into
issues,
an argument
right.
before. You know, everyone gets into it. Like Matthew McConaughey did one, and I was like, oh, period. Like this is so cool to hear about. Like celebrities also have like marital problems
Yeah.
or like they go through problems in their relationships. That's crazy though. That's like.
This is not giving like what I think he wanted it to give.
No.
I think it was
It was not well received.
it was not well received.
It was
because
not well received. And
I don't know if
Hailey
he-
didn't like it.
he pictured it as like, oh, this is like such a vulnerable journal entry as a caption where it's reminding me of this time and I need to share that. I think trying to get even isn't the answer. Like, we just need to understand where we're coming from and like be proud of each other. But it was not.
Him also saying like he did that because he felt disrespected.
He felt, yeah. I'm scared.
I'm scared.
But
I'm scared of Justin, and I'm scared of men in general a little
Yeah.
bit with
it's
just
been a
because
recurring
of
theme.
what I've seen so far in the media. You know, you were talking about how you saw this on TikTok, but I recently watched Temptation Island
which
on
we need
Netflix.
to unpack.
I was a little late to the game, but as soon as I finished it, I was like,
She's
Cailyn,
always 10 steps behind.
Yes, because
I've
I
been
do
trying
things
to
at
get
my
her to
own
watch this.
pace. I hate
know.
like I'm not even gonna say it because I don't want to be different. I don't want you guys to be like, oh, she's different. She thinks she's different. But like I hate when things are like so
Popular.
trendy. I don't know what it is. I'm like, nah, I have to see it like after.
Yeah.
It happened with Love Island. It happened with Temptation
Oh my
Island.
God, so true.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to speak about it with her. I'm like, oh my God, this couple did blah, 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 blah. And I'm explaining all the lore. And she doesn't understand because she doesn't know the
I'm just
characters
like,
yet. Like the people.
That's crazy.
And now we have things to say because she finally saw the show and was like, wait, this is crazy work.
Yeah, I was like, Cailyn, we have to talk about this on the podcast because
Yeah.
when I was watching Temptation Island, I literally was like, this is such a social experiment. Like, this is giving the same feeling I get when I watch Hunger Games. Like, I'm like, I can't look away from the TV. It's just so disgusting what I'm seeing.
It's-
and vulgar,
it's real-
diabolical,
yes.
vile,
Yeah.
horrid. Like, get
like-
me away from there.
I start thinking about how the hell these couples even find themselves on the show or how they reach out to them. Same thing as like Too Hot to Handle, where producers, which I still don't know if that's like, there's truth behind that, where producers say like, oh, we don't advertise it as Too Hot to Handle. We advertise it as like some random dating show where they're going to get a free vacation and they're all like on an island.
I don't know. I feel like they definitely are like, oh, it's for Too Hot to Handle. I'm going to scout you out, kind of. And it's
Right.
always like really
then
attractive
act-
singles. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But for this, I'm like, how did they even like, how did
Find
you
the
convince these couples to like go on this show? Because if you don't know what Temptation Island is about, it's basically this show where they bring these couples onto this island and they are going to test their relationship by separating them and putting them in these villas with like 12 singles, and you're not with your partner. So you're supposed to be like tempted
Right.
by these singles and testing if your relationship can stand the temptation, I guess.
Yeah. That to me is a crazy concept to start off with, because naturally to me it's just resembling the real world. Like, you're going to be out in the world, there's going to be several options. You can have a partner. It's what you choose, how you choose to respect your partner, how you choose to interact with other people. But like, what they're doing in this case is like, oh, case study is the fact that we're going to be surrounding like a sea of options, and you have to restrain yourself or just fully ignore whatever tendencies you're so inclined to go towards. And I'm like, this is messy. Number one, if not all of these couples go into this already having been cheated on or done the cheating.
Yeah, they go into it because they have problems in their relationships, and their relationship must be tested.
Like, see if they can stand the test of other people.
It's gonna make us stronger at the end of it, right? That's like that's what they always said in their confessionals. Right.
But I'm like, I am so sorry if you're going into the show already on the rocks. Like, you're already like, we're not even there. We're not even seeing each other eye to eye. One of them wants to cheat. One of them literally has brought up the idea of a threesome.
Like, there's so many reasons for why they came onto the show. I just think, and I wanted to ask like the listeners, if you guys would go on this show, like if you were having issues with your partner and you had to like test the waters, and you're like, no, I want to be tested. I want to prove to you that I can have female friends and still be a loyal boyfriend, completely, you know, in love with you. So many of the men that the singles that are like the ones that are supposed to tempt the women said that never, like, over their dead body would they let their girlfriend come on the show. Like, they would never drag their girlfriend here. And that's why I was like, exactly, like, these men did not want to be with these women. Like, you were doomed from the start because you literally came onto this show and into this like island full of singles that their whole objective is just to get you to basically cheat on your partner.
And it's like a free pass.
That's
they
crazy.
see it as a free pass because they're like, well, if you want me to see if I can really stick to our relationship, then let me explore other options. And then if I come back to you, it's because I love you the most.
I would
there's
never.
No common sense.
I would never.
It.
Let's go to therapy together. Let's like talk to someone. Let's just talk to each other. That's basically the concept of the show, and it's hosted by this amazing guy. I love that man.
What a king.
Love him. I want him to be my therapist.
No, fully. Such a great man.
No, like, I would go to therapy every single day with him. I'm like, oh, Mark.
And like,
let me tell
if you compare Mark to like any other reality TV host, you're like, oh my God, the difference is
the difference. He like genuinely cares about these people. And even though I think he sided with the women's because they were for the most part, they were in the right, I think. And they were really like, and they were the ones really dogged. They were literally dogged by these men. I think that he still respected like the men and actually wanted to help them and give them some sort of clarity behind like why they behave the way they do. And I really appreciated that because
he would never attack anyone. Like, even if the situation was really intense and they're like, nobody seems to find any sort of reasoning for their behavior or logic, he would try to find some sort of things stemming from their past. Be like, so let's get down to this. Like, why did you do this?
It's super healthy.
This reason. It's so healthy.
Like, I was sat and I was like, wait, that's a good thing to think about. Keep Mark. In mind. I was like, ooh, I need to reflect on that as well.
And I think it would help the men feel more like emotionally available because they're like, wow, okay, he's bringing up something valid. And maybe it does stem from something in my past. Like, let's unpack that.
And I think it's always easier for couples to sort of talk to each other if they have like a mediator, especially in like something that's so
heated.
And very heated. And
it's heavy.
It's very heavy.
Another aspect that I think is really crazy about this show is that not only are you like being tested in separate villas, but then you come back at several like different points of the show for like a campfire, a bonfire situation, and you're surrounded. So let's say it's the women in one side of the villa. They come together as the four of them, and they see clips of their men talking to whoever the fuck they want to talk to, making literal like clowns out of themselves.
No, like, it's so embarrassing. If I was a girlfriend, I would be not only like so sad and mortified, but it's like, ew, like it's just so an embarrassment icky on my part where it's like, I can't believe people associate me with you after seeing your behavior like that.
And not only that, but the fact that they're willing to do this like on public TV.
Yes, that's
not
crazy.
Not only is it like, oh, like you're doing this on the low.
You
like,
don't you would embarrass me like that and disrespect me like that in front of
the whole world.
millions.
That's like that.
Yeah, no.
I can't even get behind any of it. I can't get behind them doing it in private, but
Yeah, no.
let alone for millions of people to criticize and then shit on them because they know that no one's gonna like defend them after that, and they're still doing it. They're like,
sure.
oh yeah, we're grinding on this girl.
So,
I'm in her bed. Like, that's crazy.
What would your boundaries be? Like, the whole time that these people were there, these couples, they were asked, like, what would be crossing the line? So, like, what do you consider cheating? Because what I saw in this show, I'm like, you checking her out like that? You even, like, staring at her a little bit too long? I'm like, what are you doing?
No, I know exactly what you're talking about.
So
and there
what do you think?
There were also moments where the couples... Even the flirting itself,
it's
as
disgusting.
soon as those girls stepped out and they show the lineup, they introduce themselves.
Yeah,
there was already uncomfortable comments that were being made on my end where I was like, I don't like this, and I wasn't even the girlfriend, but I was like, ew, like you want her.
Wait, when I started the show, I was texting Cailyn and I was like updating her on literally the play-by-play.
Yeah.
So when the girls, like the single girls, like come out, it was literally giving Handmaid's Tale where they had like hoods on and like capes.
It is that.
Red. And then Mark is like, all right, ladies, go introduce yourself.
Out.
And they dropped their fucking...
like, what? It's fully them coming out in like little robes and they're like, all right, ladies,
and then
come
they
on
like,
out.
And then they just like let go of it and now they're in bikinis. And I remember the women seeing them and they were like,
ridiculous.
Okay, like it's just all these women, like
it's just a bunch of beautiful ass women. And then the guys are already starting to make comments, or like you can clearly tell
be
like,
like
who
yes, they made like little side
in.
comments like, ooh, like number 8
in front of their girls. That's
nah.
What are we doing?
See, I can't I'm just like I'm
can't.
not like peaceful enough for that.
No,
I don't think
I'm not strong enough for
I'm
that.
not strong enough. I'm like no.
What do you mean? So you want her?
No, like
so like we're breaking
scared
up
of
right
me.
now because you just looked at her in like a very
here's the thing. It's like
way.
I expect to be treated the way that I would treat you. I would never ever like check out a guy and be like, yeah, number 8. Why? Because I only have eyes for you.
Right.
Like it's so gross to me that from the start, like when they would give the wristbands out, he'd be like, hey, and like check her out fully. I'm like, your girlfriend is literally sitting down holding your hand right next to you.
Right. And
ew.
I understand they have to give the bracelet. So they each are given a bracelet that they give to
just show
whoever
interest.
Whoever they find the most attractive, the most interested by. Maybe they said something that they want to learn more about. They give them a bracelet. And I totally get it. That's the point of this this experiment. You have to give someone a bracelet. But that could be done so respectfully. Like, you could easily just put the bracelet and be like, you were intriguing to me. Like, I want to learn more about you. You seem cool.
No, but I don't even care that the singles, like, flirt with them. I think it's more on, like, the couples.
Well, because
like,
that's their job.
What would you consider cheating if you were on this show that you're like, absolutely not? Like, if you saw that in the bonfire, like, even the first signs of that, you'd be like, no. Like, you already crossed a line.
I mean, I don't like anything that has to do... I hate emotional cheating. I hate it all. Why do they get into deep conversations and he's not able to do that with me? Like, that's already like raising red flags to me. But I think it would just be like fully if I saw any kissing any touching.
Okay, I was gonna say touch. For me, it's touching.
Yeah, physical like contact. Like if he's resting a freaking hand like this on her leg.
No, I would get
no hell.
Or when they sit next to each other and her legs are over. No.
Or like a really intense stare where they're like this close to
like
each
they're
other's
this
face.
close. No.
And yes, they could argue. I never did anything with
I
her.
would be like Montoya, bro. I would be, but like not running to like to be with you. I would like
I'm gone.
call you. Yeah, I'm gone. I'm running in the other direction.
Oh, hell no.
Because that actually like gave me chills down my body. Like
I hate it
vomit.
just because there's this like underlying thing where they could always be like, oh, but I didn't do anything. Like we didn't even hook up. We didn't even do any of that. Like I never crossed the boundary. I never kissed them. So there's like that argument of nothing ever happened.
Why would you have to touch another woman?
Body language is way too telling.
And then flip the script. How would you feel if a man was touching my legs?
No, exactly.
If we were not breaking eye contact, we were this close to each other.
No, I hate that.
having deep intellectual conversations, how would you feel?
No.
Would you be like okay with it?
No, that's why I'm saying
exactly.
Once we get to that like physical boundary that's crossed, it's like, oh yeah, hell no.
Yeah, no.
But on the other side of that, because I do think the emotional conversations do lead to growth on their end, like I think they need to speak to someone openly and vulnerably to get to like the bottom of their emotions and get down to why they express themselves in a certain way. I think it's necessary. But like I also hate it. Like I also like if I was the girlfriend,
you don't want someone to like get close to them like
right that. Like I'd be like,
okay.
Damn, like they're getting so close to this person, or like they're understanding why he is that way,
that emotional intimacy
without me. Yeah. And it's
you're
like
that's for me.
Mm-hmm. But I do understand that maybe if it wasn't for that conversation that he had with someone else to like open him up to like a different view, why he's feeling that way, maybe he wouldn't have reached that. I don't know, like
sometimes it's easier to talk to someone that you
else.
have like no attachment to,
right?
Because it's like less pressure, I guess,
and they also have like no inside scoop on your relationship. It's such a total like outsider,
they're hearing this for the first time. Yeah,
so
I get that.
I get it.
Let's get into the couples because we have some stuff to say.
We really do.
Shall we start with Grant and Ashley?
Let's start with Grant and Ashley.
Let's just talk about Grant and Ashley throughout the season, and then we'll go with each of the other couples. So Grant and Ashley, they went into it because there was an issue with the cheating. He was a serial cheater and she did not trust him, and she held on to that. And so this was they went onto the show so that he could prove that he could be loyal to her. That was that was their reason. When they walked into the show, they said, we're here so that he can prove to me that he can be in a room with all these women and he'll be loyal
and still
to me.
Choose me.
Yeah. Ashley, girl, you deserve so much better. I loved Ashley. Yeah. My girl, I felt for her. Grant is diabolical. Grant is crazy. He triggers something in me where I'm like, I hate when people don't understand what I'm saying. And it's not a thing of like, shit, maybe I should explain myself differently or anything like that. It's like there's people out there that will just listen or see a situation and then misread the entirety of it. Like he would take everything that he told her or she told him or would see in the bonfire, and he would like misinterpret what she was saying.
And he would make it all about himself. Yes. Whether it was meant to be about him or not. Yes. There was a lot of things that were meant to be about him, but he would twist it in a way that was like,
she's hurting me, right?
She's hurting me.
And I liked that at the final bonfire, he called her out for saying, you said that the universe sent you a piece of shit, quote, right? And she said, I was reacting to your actions. That's what she said. And then I was like, so true. Like when she called him a piece of shit, it's after the bonfire that she saw him cheating on her. Girl. Yeah. Mind you, Grant, like maybe day 3. I don't know. It doesn't really tell you like the day by days. We kind of just like watch the show. Out. Yeah. But I'm going to say like day 3. He was already...
No, it's the fact that
literally he was hooking up with a girl in the shower.
He was doing way more. In
the night, he already locked eyes with a girl and he was like, yeah, that's her. Yeah. And touching, flirting.
He was doing
staying up all
so
night
much with her.
And like
I can't.
It was like the edging, teasing, like wanting to make out with each other, but not. And I was like, ew. Like
that is cheating already.
And Grant said that he has like this thing with like jealousy, like it's like a game to him and Ashley, or like it was. He was like, she would like it when I made her jealous. Ooh.
That's a little concerning.
That's a little that's a little toxic. That's a little crazy.
Well, there was so many moments between their relationship that I was like, this is toxic behavior, because it was a game, I think, a lot to them, where it was like, as long as you're able to come back to me, then it's okay. Yeah. Like, we'll let it play out. But just so many, I hate the contradictive, like, a lot of manipulation that he would put onto her too, because he would make her feel like what he was doing was like not wrong. Right. He was like, well, because you're talking to that man and you're saying that life sent you a piece of shit man, so
now I'm gonna go explore Natalie.
He would always flip it to be like, well, if you think that, then I also have the right to like explore something else, and I have the right to be with another woman and see what that brings up for me. But don't worry, because I love you more. And it was always like this thing of like,
like I want to marry her one day, but you just literally hooked up with a girl in the shower.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
What is this like? Because if it was her doing that, he would have been.
He was crashing out during the last bonfire,
out.
crying. He sees what she does and what she says about him, and that resentment she holds. The resentment that she has because you cheated on her.
It's crazy.
And not to mention, what do you want her to do? Like, get over it? As for Ashley, the whole time, the entire time, I've never rooted for someone to like cheat on their boyfriend before. That I was like, literally, go explore Danny. Danny, my baby. Like, Danny, call me up, Danny. Literally. Like, oh my gosh, I've never met a more respectful, well, not that I've met him, but you know what I mean? Like,
from what I've never
seen, he was so respectful. I was like, he's 22 and he's like, where are the men like this? Like,
one of the youngest guys there, and the most, I think, emotionally present. Like, every conversation they would have was never anything about like, I'm just trying to get with you.
And it was so like you
so
like,
about her
what
journey.
do you need, like the support that he gave her. And also just like he was so respectful of her, while still like making it known that he wanted to pursue her. So what cute. Oh my god, I love him.
I also like found out that me and that guy have the same exact chart minus one thing.
What is it?
And no, like every single sign, it's like the sun sign, moon, right? Like everything is the same minus one of them. And I don't know if it was the moon that like switched out, but everything else, like the Venus, the Mercury, like everything was the same exact sign. And I was like, wait, does that mean like we're compatible? Like, what does this mean about us?
The same charts?
Yeah, you know a thing or two about that.
Girl!
I think it could mean similar ways of viewing things, for sure. Like similar perspectives, similar outlooks. But also, I guess it is, you are similar just because you have the same, even if it's the same sun sign. Like, I'm a Virgo and I find another Virgo, I'm like, says so much. Like, I know I'm gonna like you probably. But yeah, I found that out. And then I was like, okay.
Danny.
Hey, Danny. Every single time the girls' villa is always like so much saner and they're like doing the inner work. Yeah. The guy villa with all the girls is giving frat house every fucking time.
And I was just shocked because I thought going into it that the men were gonna be like in the women's villa. I thought the single men were gonna be like very like it was gonna be like raunchy, like men, you know, like I thought I was gonna see something, like I thought it was gonna be like cool. These were the most like respectful, sweet, like genuine men. Didn't even try anything. Like,
I know, you really do think that it's gonna be like, wow, they're gonna like party it up
or they're gonna like try to like, you know, so flirt. They're gonna try to like seduce these women. No.
Tyler and
Taylor
and Taylor's crazy.
Yeah, going into it, I already knew they were like doomed. They just don't look compatible. And then when you get to know them a little bit more, Taylor to me is grown woman. She's a homeowner. She has her own job. She has her own life and like is so fulfilled by that, and she is giving adult. And a lot of men find that really intimidating and stuff like that. So Tyler, to me, he just isn't at her level.
Just different parts of life.
And that's totally okay. You want to go that way, do that thing, but it's not compatible with what your girlfriend wants. So it's just from the start, it never worked out. And then also him jumping from relationship to relationship and not being single at any point. I don't know in how many years. It's just a little bit concerning because I do think there's a lot of lessons that can be learned being single. And I think that it's necessary to be alone and learn to be alone.
I agree.
And I don't know how to take it that it's like you literally have not been single and you just like based on what we see like cannot be.
He basically cheats on the girl that he comes in with, which is
fully falls in love.
Fully says I love you.
I am in love with this girl. Yeah. This is for the best because Taylor would have stayed with him because she was always so like on his team, supporting him and like seeing his potential. And what she needed was that like, I need to let go of you. And Kay and him, like when I watched them, I was like, these two like each other. Like
it makes sense.
They make sense. They're in the same like place in life. And
but then you come to find out he's not even dating the girl that he left with anymore.
When Brianna and Shantae first arrived to the island, the issue was Shantae was there because Brianna wanted to prove that he could have female friends and not sleep with them. And Breon said from the start that he had like this crazy sex drive and that he just wants to have threesomes.
Oh my god, sorry, I have to laugh at this.
The whole thing of him having female friends, but then during the in the villa, he said that he fucks his friends, and that throughout the show, Breon said that like him sleeping with people doesn't like fulfill his like emotional needs.
Right.
And that's why he has Shantae, because Shantae fills his emotional needs, but not his like sexual needs. So that's why he has to like
I literally cannot with this.
He had a threesome in the bathroom,
which we fully get like evidence of.
Why can't we mute these men's mics? Like, they don't show the women at all. I was like, please, let's get raunchy in the women's villa. I was like, please, like, show them that they're just like, I can get to your level. Like, I'm sorry that like 2 wrongs don't make a right, but the men were so vile and it was so horrid, so bad, that I was like, the girls deserve to have fun too, you know?
Especially like, to the point where there is a time in the show where they introduce this like tent.
The Haven.
The Haven, yeah. I'm not even kidding. It's just a tent.
It's a tent.
And basically you can go in with whoever you want at any point.
It was giving the purge.
Mm-hmm. Like if you go into this tent, a light turns on. As soon as they introduced the Haven, I literally was rooting so hard for the girls' villa. I was like, yes, I need you all to purposely go into the fucking Haven.
Make them scared.
You don't even have to do anything, baby girl. Like just get in it. Because I want that alarm to be going off 24/7.
24/7. I want them to think that you guys are being disgusting as them.
They would get the alarm.
Breon.
It was, and they were like, well, it's for sure not Shantae. Like he would always bring up, well, it's not my girl, because I know she would never do that. And I was like,
that's Breon.
Shut the hell up.
Yeah,
like I hate that you think that she doesn't have the capacity to do what literally you're doing. It's belittling. Like, why do you think
But also, like, let's reflect on that. Yeah, she wouldn't do that to you, so why are you doing it to her? Shantae, I felt really bad for her at first because I was like, I can tell that you really love this person. Mm-hmm. But then after seeing the threesome, that was not her final straw. No, still, it wasn't her final straw. Let's talk about Breon's actions after the threesome, because I actually have to... Cailyn, I was literally so concerned because he stepped out of that bathroom and it was daylight. He heard the birds fucking chirping. He was in that shower all night. And I was like, the water doesn't get cold?
The fact that I still cannot even understand why she was trying to defend some of the actions after being like, but that's just like how he's always been. Like, I understand her trying to want to understand him. Mm-hmm. But
to be fair, she was very hurt by the threesome, and she just like couldn't believe that he said that he didn't regret it. He stepped out of the bathroom, birds chirping, sunlight out, and he said, I don't regret it one bit. He went to bed. And he was like, yeah, I feel great, you know, like we had fun. Now I'm gonna try to get these other 2 girls to have a threesome with me. Mm-hmm. It's concerning.
I think it's so much more deep rooted, and I think that has to stem from something in his past. And I do think it is like an addiction. To each their own, but I just don't think they're compatible then.
But also there's sex addiction as well. Why are you with someone if he has a certain like way of living that just is not compatible?
That's why I'm saying I don't even think they're compatible in that sense.
Why are you with him? Also, no. I'm actually mad at Breon.
I don't think it's like something that you can't get to the same point. Because I think drives differ. You can get to the same point at some later step in your relationship.
You can always try stuff out.
Yeah, like...
Okay. I was really annoyed by his like hypocritical behavior because he would say, the girls would ask him, so like, what do you look for in a woman, right? Like, why are you with Shantae? And he's like, I really value a godly woman. And so he's like massaging this girl. He's literally like massaging her ass, like, and he's talking about like how he wants a godly woman. She's like, oh, that's funny that you say you want a godly woman when you're not a godly man. You say you want a woman with morals and you want a godly woman, but you're over here fucking girls in the shower. I appreciate Mark for helping him through some of the things and letting him like think about why he does what he does. I was very concerned.
Yeah.
I was very concerned and I feel bad, but also check yourself. At the bonfire, her gut instinct, she had to step out and she was crying. She's like, I don't know what to do. Her gut instinct was, I'm going to leave by myself. He spoke to her, convinced her. She was like, okay, we're going to work it out.
Makes me so mad.
And this is why, ladies, you need to trust your gut. Go with your gut always. Because your intuition is never wrong. Like, trust your gut because it's always right.
And the thing is, I think the only reason that she was in this in-between of like, what do I do, is just because she was wanting to ignore the reality of it all, which was, it's obviously painful. Your man literally disrespected you on like in public.
Shantae reminds me of that sort of longing for the person that you love to notice you and see your value and be like, I love you the same way you love me.
Yeah.
And it's like, I feel like she's constantly chasing after him, and he's like, oh, she's always gonna be there.
Right.
And so there's this thing of, in his head, he's like, yeah, she's just always gonna be there, so I can do whatever I want.
Exactly.
She's gonna forgive me. That's who she is.
And then she's the one left with all this guilt.
Right. How can you say you love me and then treat me like that?
No, exactly.
Or love me, but then you have eyes for all these other women. Like, no.
It never makes sense to me, because as much as they try to explain their love for their partner and be like, yeah, but it just isn't the same with this person, when we have like caught in 4K, like them opening up their hearts and saying, I'm in love with you, but yet to your face they're saying, yeah, but I might be in love with them, but like, you're gonna be my wife someday, so like that 2 + 2 =
literally
8, you know, like,
keep me away from that.
like, I
literally
don't
keep me
understand.
so far away from that. I hate when guys are like, I want to marry you. You don't get it. Like, I think men are so different than women, and that's why I kind of like this show, because you see how they act. It's like literally
like
social
the weight
experiment.
of their words.
The weight of their
not
words is
as
they don't
heavy.
care. They're like, yeah, like, I want to live with you. I want to marry you. What? What? Do
Like,
you want me to be your wife? Like, do you know what that
no.
means? Like, I just don't think. I don't know if it's just me. I know you're similar to me.
Yeah.
But like, that is so huge for me.
Yeah.
Like, to be told that I'm like, damn. But then for some people, it's like, oh no, it was just a
Like,
joke.
we're gonna get married one day.
Like it's just a lie. Like, I'm just
No.
playing, or like, it's like saying like any other thing.
Like my wife. Oh hell no, I hate that.
No, I
hate
know.
it. I
It's
hate it so. We've talked
triggering.
about this so many times, where we hate being like, we hate when people who like aren't married are going to be married calling each other like, that's my wife.
Yeah, I hate that.
I hate it.
You can't do it unless
you're
look,
married.
ceremony
or you have
complete,
the engagement
bro.
ring and you're like, that's my soon to be wifey, my fiance. Okay,
My fiance.
your
That's
fiance.
fine. But wife
Wife.
is like, seal the deal, sign, seal, delivered. I'm
What?
not gonna be calling some like guy just my husband.
Husband?
That's like my
Yeah,
husband.
no, hell no. Yeah, no. Absolutely not.
I need
But
someone worthy of that.
Yeah.
You know?
we're like, whoa, we're not that.
wife. Wife.
Like, yes, I know I'd make a great wife, but that's like my inner knowing, not for you to be calling me that. The fuck?
I totally get where you're coming from.
Yeah,
Same
no.
with like, I'm falling in love with you, but like, you broke up with me the next day. What?
Yeah, the crazy switch from like one day them saying like, oh my god, you're perfect for me, you're my wife, and then the next day they're breaking up with you.
Or being in love with you and then cheating on you.
You're funny. You're funny.
Speaking of marriage, Lino and Alexa, they got engaged
get
at the
engaged on
end.
the show.
How do you feel about that?
Okay, so how do I feel about an engagement on Temptation Island?
Yeah, I
Is
was like,
something
what was
else.
this? So random. They like walked a path and then they left the path. I was like, damn, that
They're
was
like,
a really
"Come
quick
here," and it's just,
engagement.
like, random.
It's just a different
personally-
idea.
Yeah, I personally would have been like, not in the middle of like this cheating show where it's like, we're testing our relationship and then you want to get married to me, like engaged in the middle of like temptation. I don't know. It's like rooted in something like I don't want to base my marriage on, which
I
is like
totally get you.
cheating, temptation.
Do you have like a vision for your engagement?
I was like, yeah, that you for me, but then you're like, but do you have it? And I'm like, well,
Okay,
yes
but,
and no.
Like,
But
yes, but no. But also, like, for
Yes, but
me,
no.
I just don't like she was like walking out and then they're like
A setup.
walking into a little.
you don't like setup.
Okay, I didn't hate their setup. I don't like the red
I
rose
know what you
setup.
mean.
I
I
liked
know
the
what you
white
mean.
flowers. Like, the setup was cute, but I don't love a setup.
I know, yeah, because we always talk about like the setups that people do like on beaches and stuff, where it's like a stand or something.
Yeah, I don't
and
like
then
the stands.
There's like
The flowers, beautiful, gorgeous,
right.
amazing. I'm happy for them. Like, yes, I'm so
Like-
happy you guys got engaged. Like, I am, genuinely. I really
No,
am.
yeah, like,
that you
there's
guys
no
made it
issue,
through
don't
and
have-
like, period. Like, you guys found each other. I'm so glad that you guys are like soulmates.
In terms of like an engagement that I would want, like what? I'm like, what?
It's my finger because I'm not gonna forget that I have a point to make.
Bring it up.
Yeah, I'll bring it up. No, continue.
Okay.
Your engagement.
The engagement that I would want, I'm just like not a very like public.
Yeah,
Like,
intimate.
like flash mob type person where it's like, oh,
you start
everybody
you hear
and
the
their mother
Bruno
knows.
Mars like marry me. What are you doing?
No, like,
and then I'm like
that's-
there with the camera. I'm like, Cailyn, what?
Bruno
Cailyn,
Mars
walk.
marry me is crazy.
And it's like a flash mob.
No. I don't mind if like my closest people are there somewhat hiding in a bush and I just like don't know. That's fine.
I'm
Because
gonna be
I would
dressed as a
understand.
bush.
Literally.
I'm like shuffling.
I would
taking
understand. And like
pictures.
people that love you like want to be there and they want to experience that moment. So you can't just deny them of that and be like, oh, my special moment, like nobody be there. I totally understand people wanting to experience such a big moment.
Yeah.
But I can't with like the big displays of
No,
like,
I'm the same way. I get you.
Yeah.
I also was telling Cailyn like a while ago that when we get engaged, like I want to know, like I need to know, like you can't do me dirty that I'm like I'm not ready.
we need to know.
No, and
we
me,
need to
I
know.
need to like we need to know.
We need to know, like we're literally
like you don't have to be like it's gonna be like da. Just be like
it's happening soon.
it's happening.
Like, have the nails done.
Have a dress
Have
ready.
a dress.
Do your hair.
No, because if I
makeup.
get caught lacking,
No.
if I am caught on a bad day where like the hair is looking ratty,
if
the
I'm
makeup
wearing
is
jeans,
washed
I'll literally
No.
be like, let's redo it.
like
That's
you want
such
to
a
look beautiful
Yes.
and feel beautiful.
You get it.
No,
You
I
get
totally
it.
understand. And I think I would also like for you to know that it's happening.
Yes, I need
Like
to know.
whoever we're marrying needs to be like in cahoots. They have to like know and be like, hey, like plan it with the people that love
with like
me,
the
you know what
best
I mean?
friends, yeah.
Right, like
Yeah, but we can't ever tell them that we told each other.
yeah.
You
They
know what I
listen to
mean?
this and they're like, fuck, they knew all along. And it's like, yeah, we're gonna tell each other everything. Like,
But
I'm
it's
so
still like
sorry.
a surprise. Like
It's
it's
still a
still like so
surprise.
beautiful.
That's
you
what
know?
I'm saying. Like, we're not gonna know everything, but like
Mhm.
not the details. But like, okay, I'm sure like we're gonna discuss the ring beforehand.
I think it's like necessary that the man gets down on one knee. Like
oh,
I
yeah.
hate these proposals that the man is standing and then they just like hug and
No,
period.
you're getting on one knee.
And also, none
No.
of this, will you marry me when you're on the knee? You're going to get on the knee and like profess your love to me and why I should marry you and why you want me to be your wife.
State your case.
State your case while on your knee, right? And then you're going to
That
say,
sounds
will you marry
state-
me?
Yeah, for sure. No, you need to have like because whenever I see people and it's just like straight up, they're like already saying yes when like the guy is like halfway down.
He's like squatting.
He's literally squatting
no,
and
no,
they're
no.
like, yes, and I'm like,
No.
oh no, like I
Go
need
to
you
the gym, get those
fully-
lunges in.
You were planning this little pre-engagement
I
speech.
need some Anthony Bridgerton
I
type
need
of
it.
yearning.
Right.
Like, I will humble myself. Yes.
Yeah.
For you.
Right.
No.
See, this
yeah.
is like an us thing.
We get it.
where
we
we're
get
like,
each
no, we
other.
need like full production. I don't know. I also just think it has so much to do with like who you are and like your character and like someone knowing and understanding you.
Yeah.
Wanting to like please you. You know, they're like, okay, I know she hates like big, showy, like flash mob. Like, we're not going to do that. I think that's like a sign of respect because the people who do it anyway, and they're like, no, but it's just like a big momentous occasion. And it's like, well, I clearly told you that like I didn't.
Yeah, but there's also that other side where I've seen people that are, it's so casual. And then
Right.
it's like very much like
Brushed
beautiful, but it's like casual.
Yeah. Because I don't want it to just be like, oh, we're in bed randomly sitting up one day and it's like, will you marry me? Nah, because
Are
then it's
you
giving
even
like
on
no
your
thought.
knee, dude?
Yeah, like
Get
it's-
off the bed. Get your ass down.
It's giving like no thought.
I think
Like
I want like a sailboat in there somewhere.
so cute.
I need to see like the water, I think.
That's pretty.
Yeah, I always love the idea of like, let's take a trip, right? And like, or
Right.
like a family trip or something. And I'm like,
And
all
everyone's
right,
like in on it.
a family trip.
We truly always play like this like game with life where we're like, so let's talk about our
The Where Are the Husbands game.
we're husbands.
But yeah, definitely not on Temptation Island. Definitely not on Temptation,
Not on Temptation
Island.
Island.
Unless it's Danny.
Unless it's that's what I was
Unless
I was
it's
like, wait,
Danny
maybe,
with her
though.
matching the matching chart.
our matching charts.
The matching chart with Danny.
It has to mean
it's meant to
something.
be.
It has to mean something.
Love Island starts soon, so we're
Oh,
gonna
I'm
be
so
covering
excited.
that. Very exciting. But that's it for today's episode. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you want to keep up with us, be sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at fulltimedaughterpod. We also have our book club video up right now, and if you follow us on Fable, make sure to follow us right now. If you haven't, click the link somewhere up there. We're reading Summer in the City, and May is coming to a close, so make sure you finish that book. Cailyn, take it away.
Also, be sure to follow, rate, and review the podcast. We love seeing your reviews. Also, the comments lately,
Thank
so
you.
much fun. It's so cute.
Guys, we literally freak out every single time we get a comment.
Any interaction we appreciate so much, and we just love knowing that you guys are here. We'll see you next week because
it's a full-time job at this point.
Exactly.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.